the bandit holds a dagger and slowly pushes the woman into the corner of the wall. The chest light is revealed in her eyes, as if she wants to devour the other person alive. Unexpectedly, the woman took the initiative to calm the other person down. Just when the bandit was stuck in it and couldn't pull himself out, the woman suddenly had a hard time. While grabbing the dagger, the bandit was stabbed to death. The other accomplices wanted to fight back, but were also broken by the woman. The last bandit was in a bad shape and wanted to retreat. He was stabbed by her and killed on the spot. The woman's skills are so poor, she must not be an ordinary person. That's right, she is an agent named Lena. She and Agent Igor were escorting a hostage back to Russia. When they met the bandit, Lena took the opportunity to cut them off. And the hostage she escorted, Monia, is a big deal. 3 years ago, she was a partner of the oil tycoon Solzhenitsyn. The two held a social fund together. Solzhenitsyn got funds from the Western Intelligence Agency and then asked Monia to clean up. Then she used the money to bribe government officials and even military officials to achieve the purpose of splitting the Russian regime. The Russian CIA couldn't take it for granted, so they sent agents to secretly arrest Solzhenitsyn. But because there was no direct evidence, they couldn't bring him to court. The CIA didn't get the evidence, so they put their eyes on Monia. However, when the CIA took action, they found that the man had already escaped. In the end, the CIA had no direct evidence, so they had to release Solzhenitsyn. Now the CIA has learned through multiple sources that Monia is hiding in a villa in Malta, so they arranged agents to secretly arrest her. Igor was also one of them. He was highly regarded as a rising star, not only with exquisite shooting skills and strong physique. More importantly, he has never failed since the night. He was trusted by the senior leaders. When Igor led the agents to prepare for the arrest, suddenly, a group of assassins launched a surprise attack. Their weapons were sharp and well-trained. Under the intense fire of the assault rifle, countless agents were killed. Igor used his special bulletproof suit to hide for a while. In the blink of an eye, all the agents were killed. Igor was the only one left to suffer. When the assassins arrived, Igor turned around and hid in the villa. The assassins couldn't bear to chase him and planned to kill Igor. Unexpectedly, the enemy suddenly flashed out of the tree and took a killer hostage. Igor started to kill. He took advantage of the wind and sand to wander around in the heavy rain. Then he took out a grenade and blew up the assassins who were chasing him. At this time, he noticed that the closet next to him was a little strange. When he opened it, a man wanted to kill himself with a pistol. Igor convinced him. He took out a photo and compared it. After confirming that it was Monia, he put on the bulletproof suit. Igor opened the door with a grenade and took Monia out of the sky. Seeing that the situation was safe, Igor revealed his identity and said that he was an agent of the Russian CIA. But Monia was full of contempt and distrust of him and said that he had to escape no matter what. Igor thought that the enemy was too noisy, so he shot him down and stuffed him into the trunk. Then Igor used a car phone to establish contact with the director of the CIA. Igor told him about the ambush. He suspected that there were traitors in the CIA and decided to send Monia back home alone. The director heard that he told him a secret dock where he could secretly transport Monia back home. Igor thought the plan was feasible and agreed to meet at 10 p.m. There was still some time before 10 p.m. Igor planned to fill Monia's stomach first. Unexpectedly, Monia started to make a fuss again. She shouted in the restaurant and accused Igor of being a robber, hoping that passers-by could call the police. Everyone looked at Monia like a fool. Igor could only embarrassedly say that his friend was drunk and pulled him out of the restaurant. Soon, it was 10 o'clock. Igor left Monia's 5-flowered dagger in the car and went to the dock alone to find an interceptor. When the two sides were fighting, a killer suddenly appeared and fired several shots at the interceptor. Igor rushed forward and grabbed the opponent's pistol. He killed the assassins around him. Then, a skidder came to the bottom of the truck. He shot the cow in one move and killed the assassins in the trunk. On the other side, a man who claimed to be an agent saved Monia. Monia was suspicious of this. When she was about to get in the car, she had a casual conversation and let Monia know that this man was the killer sent by Solgin. When she was about to kill, Igor arrived in time. The killer used the door as a cover and had a passionate confrontation with Igor. Unexpectedly, Monia took advantage of the chaos to start the car and was about to run away. Igor was calm and shot the tire. The killer was knocked out and Monia was captured again. Igor looked at the tattoo on the killer's arm and seemed to represent a special organization. He took out his pistol and asked Monia what organization it was. Monia was not afraid of the threat of the other party. As a protected defense, she did not believe that Igor would take action. At the next moment, a bullet shot through Monia's thigh. To escape the chase, Igor brought Monia to a villa. After settling down Monia, he set up a trap in the yard again. The so-called soft is afraid of the hard. The hard is afraid of the tough. A stubborn person like Monia actually bowed to Igor. He said he was willing to provide evidence of Solgin's crime and a lot of money, but in exchange, he hoped that Igor could give up a way out. In this way, Igor not only completed the task, but also earned a lot of money. Monia can also gain freedom. This result can be called a win-win. Igor listened and did nothing. He said he had money, and there was only one goal on this trip, which was to escort Monia back home. Suddenly, the mechanism in the yard was triggered. It turned out that Solgin's men killed again. Seeing that the other party had a large number of people, Igor also brought a slingshot. He couldn't deal with him at all. He ran away with Monia to the back door. On the way, a mysterious woman shot Igor, but Igor subdued her. The woman was in a bad mood. She said that she was the agent sent by the director, Lini. Igor was a little suspicious, but now the time was tight. He didn't have time to ask. He ran away with everyone from the back door. At this time, Lina was ready to take out the phone and report to the director, but Igor took it away. He suspected that the director's phone had been cut off. The only way was to return to the country by himself. At this time, 4 killers blocked the way. Igor and Monia teamed up to play a good show to fool the other party. When the other party relaxed their vigilance, Igor decided to shoot 4 times in a row. Looking at the scene, it was a mess. The gunshot attracted more enemies. Igor was in charge of the back door. He asked Lina to get on the boat with Monia first. Igor drove a motorcycle and went straight along the way. He killed Chong Wei. He saw that his teammates had arrived by boat. He turned around and drove into the sea. Everyone worked together. He thought he was going to escape. Unexpectedly, the killers chased after him. They even took out the RPG and fired at Igor. Igor took out his pistol and fired back. He killed the enemy holding the rocket gun. At the next moment, the whole ship exploded. The 3 of them managed to escape the encirclement. After this, Igor believed in Lina's identity. It's better for 2 people to work together than to fight alone. At this time, Monia was in a bad situation. Her wound was serious. If she didn't take the medicine in time, I'm afraid she would be in danger. Lina volunteered to go to the drugstore. Unexpectedly, she ran into a group of small gangsters. They robbed the drugstore. They not only looted all the drugs, but also beat Lina. Lina didn't get used to this group of people. She took the enemy's dagger and activated the crazy killing mode. The gunshot attracted Igor's attention. When he arrived, Lina had already completed the battle. Finally, he brought the drug back to the car. The 3 of them came to the hotel. While Lina was taking a shower, Monia secretly told Igor not to trust Lina easily. This woman is very likely to be a double-sided spy bought by Solgin. Igor didn't take it to heart. At the next moment, he had to pay for his misdeeds. While Igor was taking a shower, Lina used the beauty trick to confuse him. He took advantage of the enemy's inattention and took out the hidden needle tube. When the needle went down, the enemy immediately fainted in the bathtub. I don't know how long it's been. Igor woke up slowly. He found that it was the next day, and Monia and Lina had long gone missing. There was no clue in sight. Igor was angry. He scolded Lina loudly. At this time, he found a locating device under the bed. This is what Monia left before she left. Igor took a passerby's sports car and called the director at random. Only then did he know that the other party had never sent Lena to reinforce. Igor judged that the director's phone must have been monitored. As expected, a eavesdropping device was installed in the phone. On the other hand, Lena and Monia came to the bank to prepare to take away Solkin's evidence. Unexpectedly, the guard said he could only enter alone. Inevitably, Lena turned around to remind Monia not to play tricks. Monia wasn't even afraid of bullets. How could she be worried about Lena's threat? She followed the bank manager and disappeared from the corridor. She never appeared again until the manager pushed the box and walked out, but there was no sign of Monia. Lena only realized that she had been deceived by her. When she got back to the car, Lena was in pain. Unexpectedly, Igor broke into the car. He held her down and forced her to ask where Monia was. Lena couldn't hold back her brutality. It means that after Monia entered the bank, she never appeared again. Igor was about to sneak into the bank. Unexpectedly, at the top of the bank, a man was watching her every move. Igor walked into the bank building and used the excuse of saving money to successfully guard the door. Then, he got out of the camera's surveillance. As soon as the screen turned, he was dressed like a cleaner. In the end, he sneaked into the bank manager's office and put on his equipment. He began to listen to the conversation in the room. It turned out that the man who was watching Igor was Solkin. He appeared here to destroy the evidence in Monia's hands. After getting the evidence, he shot the bank manager. Everything was revealed by Igor. At this time, the security guard also found Igor's whereabouts. At the next moment, everyone raised their guns and fired at the corner. After a round of shooting, there was smoke in the corner. The surveillance camera could not capture the whereabouts of the other party. The security guard went to check and killed Igor, who was hiding on the ceiling. Solkin knew that Igor was not easy to catch like Nikyu, so he asked his men to throw a few grenades in. Igor killed a bodyguard as a human shield. After a round of fighting, Igor was blown out by the grenades. Solkin's men took the opportunity to surround him. Then he put him on the stool and threw him out of the building. Igor acted quickly and took out his pistol to kill all the bodyguards. He used the body of the bodyguard to get close to Solkin. The long war made Igor exhausted and soon hit by Solkin. When the other party threw a fatal punch, Igor flashed and fell. When Igor was about to kill Solkin, a bodyguard took Lena into the room. The other party asked to exchange hostages. However, Igor did not believe Lena. He asked the bodyguard to shoot casually. This angered Lena. She turned around and released the handcuffs. Igor and the bodyguard started a fight. Both sides were hiding behind the bodyguard. No one could do anything to the other party. At this time, Igor was on the move. He shot the hanging lantern. The unfortunate bodyguard died tragically under the glass lantern. Lena helped Igor to find the evidence. How? Solkin attacked. Lena shot Solkin. Igor thought the other party's target was himself and shot Lena casually. After that, he knew he had misunderstood Lena, so he took a deep guilt and put Lena on the ambulance. In fact, Lena was neither the director nor Solkin. She was a subordinate of the Russian Minister of Internal Affairs. As soon as the picture changed, the director was the real spy. At this moment, he had found the officer who installed the eavesdropper. When he was about to execute the officer, the Minister of Internal Affairs rushed to him. He took down the director at once. He was greedy. The director didn't want to get so little money every year, so he chose to work with Solkin. At the same time, Lena was also arrested. The strange thing is that on the second day in prison, the government announced that Lena was assassinated. The case was over. Igor thought the other party was fake. He wanted to find out the truth at random, but he was arrested by the Minister of Internal Affairs. He said that Lena had provided the account information of all relevant people. The amount of money involved accounted for 20% of the total Russian economy. As an exchange, the minister chose to release Lena secretly and restore her freedom. The story came to an end. The name of this film is Special Officer 008. It has nothing to do with Special Officer 007. If you want to get in touch with him, it may be the identity of a special officer. The film was perfect in action scenes that day. The gunfight and fighting scenes were simple. The most impressive thing was the bulletproof box in the man's hand. It could be attacked or retreated. There were also hand grenades in it. It was a must-have item for home travel and killing. In addition to the action scenes, the literary scene felt out of place. It may be because the name of Russia is too long. It was very tiring to watch the film. However, the characteristics of the hero and the hostage are very clear. They fought and fought from time to time. In a serious atmosphere, they added a bit of humor. If you see this, please like, comment, and collect. Your support is the motivation for us to update.